Hi there and welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about the use of iodine as a supplement when you have thyroid cancer. So back in 2021 when I was diagnosed with stage 3 thyroid cancer, I took the operation. I had my lymph nodes and my jugular vein removed, and then I decided to go on a natural protocol. And one of the supplements that has been a key player for me has been iodine. Now, how did I find out about iodine? First of all, so when I was looking for someone who had healed thyroid cancer naturally, I came across a woman called Stephanie Boost. I believe it's pronounced like that, B-U-I-S-T. And she had had thyroid cancer, taken radioactive iodine, which is the recommended procedure, and then she'd had the thyroid cancer reoccur. So she'd had another operation, taken the radioactive iodine for the second time, which is quite a big thing to do on the body twice. And then it came back again, and she was recommended to take the radioactive iodine for a third time. And at this point, Stephanie thought, okay, this is obviously not working, and I'm going to look into something else. And she started to work with someone called Dr Brownstein, who wrote the book, Iodine, Why You Need It and Why You Can't Live Without It. So this is a fabulous book. So Stephanie started to take iodine, and she actually managed to reverse her thyroid cancer. She never had a reoccurrence again. And, you know, I think it's now something like 15 years later, and she's absolutely fine. She has a Facebook group that she set up, and she also has a website with information on it. I will put the information for those below if you want to go on and look. Why is iodine supposed to be important? So iodine is necessary for the function of our thyroid. It's actually necessary for our body in general. And when they started to put bromide into our flour and our bread, bromide into our mattresses, bromide into flame resistant chairs and fabrics, what happened was the amount of iodine in our body started to deplete. Now that's because bromide and fluoride compete with iodine in the human body and take its place. So the more bromide and fluoride we're being exposed to, the more the iodine just gets pushed out and is unable to do its job. So we're using toothpaste with fluoride, we're drinking water with fluoride, and then we've got all these products around us with bromide. There's no way our body is going to have the stores of iodine it needs. So the process of getting iodine stores back up in the body, it consists of taking an iodine supplement along with the relevant cofactors. Now, if this video so far is piquing your interest, please buy this book. It is absolutely phenomenal. And a second book that I'm going to talk about in a minute, The Iodine Crisis. But you take iodine, you work your dose up slowly. So I started at 12.5 and got up to about 125. So you can sort of taper up and down and see how you feel with it. The reason you start low is because if you have Hashimoto's, for example, it can actually exacerbate your antibodies reading and they can lift a little bit. But outside of that, it can be a little bit tiring at first, because as you take the iodine, you knock the bromide and the fluoride out of your body, which causes a little bit of a feeling of detoxification. So I just felt exhausted. I felt really tired. I sort of had a slump all day. For, I would say, about 10 days, I just felt tired. But I knew that was coming, so I just rode it out. And after those days, I just went back totally to normal. Some people have complained of sore legs, feeling like they just don't feel quite right. So it's advised to drink lots of water and take the relevant cofactors. And you need to take these cofactors the whole time. There's no point doing the iodine protocol without them. And that is going to be magnesium, vitamin C, high quality vitamin C, vitamin B2 and B3. I took it in the form of ATP cofactors. So you take those alongside it and you slowly build your dose to a dose that you can tolerate. 50 seems to be a good goal for most people that I found in many forums. But I found many people who are working with cancer were taking somewhere in 100 to 300. They were taking some really, really high doses. I actually measured my iodine when I started doing it, and I was 72% replete, which is incredibly low. From what I have found so far, you want to be at least 92%. So I was 20% below how much iodine I should have had in the body, which is really of no surprise to me. Now, taking iodine is recommended by Dr. Brownstein for any sort of thyroid issue, thyroid cancer, but he's also found links, and many other researchers have found links between breast cancer, breast cysts, issues with the prostate, issues with the ovaries. It seems to be that iodine is helpful if you've got anything happening in your, like sort of your hormone organs, anything to do with hormonal processes. The book that I mentioned after Dr. Brownstein's was The Iodine Crisis, and this is written by Lynn Farrow. Super interesting story again. She was diagnosed with breast cancer and she discovered a link between iodine and breast cancer. And then she went off, created a website, putting lots of research and lots of information on it. Again, I'm going to link that below. And she no longer has breast cancer. She's got loads of examples in here of people getting rid of cysts, lumpy breast tissue, high cholesterol, loads and loads of examples of how iodine can help the health and how it's really necessary for all of us. We are supposed to be replete in iodine. And essentially, with the world that we live in and the halides that we're exposed to, we are unable to unless we supplement. So I would recommend checking these two books out, and I'm going to put all the links for somewhere that you can go and read a little bit more about it and keep an open mind. It's definitely been helpful for me. It has, obviously, I have not taken any treatment other than surgery. I am at really high risk with a vascular invasion and a thyroidal extension. I'm at a very high risk of a reoccurrence. And so far I have gone past the timeline predicted for me to see a reoccurrence. So what I am doing is definitely working for me, and it has worked for many other people. And I just want to put this out there and say it. So if you've got anything happening with your prostate, anything happening with your thyroid, anything happening with your breast, anything happening with your ovaries, I would highly recommend looking into these books and seeing what they can do for you as well. Some of the benefits for me, I was far more energized. I got huge hair growth. So my hair was literally sprouting out of my head where it hadn't been. I have seen the antibodies that I had for Hashimoto's drop, and I saw them dropping before I had my surgery. So I was on the iodine protocol for 3 months before my surgery. And if you've watched my original video, you'll know that my cancer did not grow whatsoever in those 3 months, and the surgeon was incredibly surprised. I forgot, one of the other cofactors to take is selenium. So if you're going to take the selenium, make sure you check your blood levels. It's important that your blood levels are not too high, particularly with selenium. You can find practitioners who are iodine literate. I did this myself. I worked through it myself. I compiled the research and have been absolutely great doing so. But if you want help from someone, you would need to look up an iodine literate practitioner. Because unfortunately, what most people say now if you have a thyroid issue is to stay away from iodine. And we've got mounting piles of research to show that we need iodine for the thyroid. Okay, so this was a quicker video today. I'm about to retest again, actually. So if you want to know anything about it, you want to ask me any questions, just do it in the comments below. I'm more than happy to answer it. And please go and check those books and resources out. And I mentioned this last time, but if you want any help with supplements to stop your cancer stem cells, I have a freebie and you can get it if you click on the link down below. All right, have a nice day. Bye.